BOJ, in its broad mandate, has a responsibility.
One Avenue, bless up everyone, give thanks for life. We are having serious problem in the banking system in Jamaica that the ordinary man like me didn't understand. But listening to Honorable Fitz Jackson, this helped shed some light on the situation. So watch and listen keenly, my people. Let us have the conversation in the comment section below. And in the meantime, new viewers, please press the subscribe button, okay?
Dr. Lewis, yes, we all are aware of the losses that are incurred by the banks, and as you referenced the governor's comment about the prudential focus, though I must say, Governor, yes, I do appreciate the focus of the BOJ, particularly what came out of the 90s and the bank situation where the whole supervisory role of the bank BOJ has been revamped in order to ensure greater security and stability in the banking system. But the BOJ, in its broad mandate, has a responsibility, I would say, of equal proportion, not to just see to the stability of the banks and the banking system, but to also ensure that the licensees of the BOJ, the banks, in their conduct, also protect the consumer, because banking law is essential is not just to protect banks, but to protect the public whose monies they have in safekeeping. That said, we are aware that the banks have reported losses. The extent of it, we don't know exactly. And usually when there are internal losses, that is not generally made known for a variety of reasons. The focus or the concern is when the public at large experience the losses, and losses that are incurred through the banks or in transaction with the banks. And in the resolution, you will see, Dr. Lewis, it referenced Section 36 of the Banking Services Act, that duty of care provision in the Act, which imposes an obligation on the banks that once you receive someone's monies, each licensee of the BOJ have an obligation, a duty to make sure that the monies, once it come into the bank, is kept safe. Now, it is the duty of the bank to employ all the various technologies, methodologies, personnel, etc., to fulfill that obligation of safekeeping. That's an obligation. So when persons would have put their monies in the bank and they lose it, at least on the surface of it, it would appear that somebody didn't keep the money safe. In this case, the bank. Is it out of negligence? Is it out of whatever is the circumstance? But the bottom line is that someone, a customer, a depositor, account holder, would have lost their funds. Where is the obligation and what are the processes and the practices to ensure that the bank fulfill this responsibility under Section 36 of safekeeping? And it is not by chance that the JCF is here, because I have encountered persons who have lost monies through the banks or through an account at the banks. And when the bank failed to compensate them for the loss, and they say, go and report it to the police. Now, John Doe, the farmer down in Clarendon or in Manchester, right, who all he knows to do is to work, earn his money, and put it someplace that is supposed to be safe. And he does nothing else, and he end up lose the money. And then when he goes to the bank say, go to the police. What the police can do, or what happens in those cases. And we hear of many cases where people actually experienced the loss. That is what have brought us here. Because that situation in no civilized society should just allow to just go like that at the end of the day. There must be some recourse. Is it limitation in laws? Is it incapacity of the banks, whoever? But there must be a fix. I'm aware that the banks also lose money in many of these circumstances. But our duty, and by extension, your duty, the BOJ that is as the regulator of the institutions that keep people's money, is to ensure that whatever that is to be done or to be done is done to protect the public at large, because the public don't have nobody else to go to. They come to the state. And you represent the state, the BOJ. You're an institution of the state. You're not like any other private bank. You have a holistic, overarching duty for the society at large. And that's why we have to turn to you. So it is those issues. What are the fundamental causes for these losses? And again, the JCF, I don't know the extent of the dialogue that takes place between the banks. In the report from the JCF, the commissioner note that in recent times there have been increased collaboration and cooperation, particularly with NCB. That struck me that one bank was highlighted where the cooperation is. But I would think, Dr. Lewis, that quite frankly, where the public at large is suffering, the BOJ, as the regulator of all these deposit-taking institutions, ought to play a piloting role, a leading role in ensuring that your licensees are sufficiently protecting the public's money. So I want to also get the feedback from the JCF in their report. I don't know if you got a chance to see a copy of the report that the JCF provided. Chairman, I think it would be useful
I'll ask
if we,
that they be provided with a copy of
right.
the
But
JCF report.
no doubt, Commissioner Bailey is fully apprised of the content and could provide some.
Closing out for now, this is One Avenue News. Avenue for your news, views, reviews, and much more. New spot on the block where we chat. Looking forward to meet you in the comment section. So flick the subscription button, turn on notification bell. Let's journey together. And please remember, we need solution, not confusion. United we win, my people. Art of love.